To highlight in Adobe, you first need to find your highlighting tool. If yours doesn't show up in your quick access toolbar, you can go to View, Tools, Comment, and Open. Then you will have all of the commenting tools and also this comment pane right here. Okay, now let's say we want to highlight some stuff. Now I like to use different colors for different types of information because it makes it a lot easier to find what I'm looking for when I'm skimming these PDFs later, trying to write a paper or something of that sort. So I like to use pink for key terms. Here we have a key term. I'm going to highlight it, but you can see that default I have mine set to yellow. So if I right click, I can go to Properties, click the color, and I'm going to choose this pink color. Now if I have a main point that I'd like to highlight, I'm going to do that in yellow. So we've got this right there. Now let's say that I want to add a comment to this. Either I can go over here and indicate that this is hypothesis 1. So later when I'm going through this, I can see that that highlight corresponds to that note. Or I can add it as text in the margin. Personally, I like to add things as text in the margin. That way, as I'm looking at the PDF, I don't have to switch over to looking at the comments pane. Okay. So I'm going to delete this. All right, you can also delete highlighted text if you change your mind and realize maybe you shouldn't have deleted it. Okay, so here's that highlighted text. To add text, I'm going to use the Add Text box. And over here, I'm going to click in the column. Actually, that's not the one that I want. Hold on. Let's delete that. Not that one, this one. So just the regular add text. I don't want it in a box. Okay. Now to make this stand out, usually when I take notes on a printed PDF, I'm using this same highlighter scheme, but I write my comments in purple. Okay. So here I'm going to write hypothesis 1. Okay. So now that I have this text box, I can move it. I can click in it and change it. For example, I can make the text bigger. Okay. Now make sure that you save from time to time so that you don't lose your work. Okay. So we have our second hypothesis down towards the bottom here. Nope, I need to switch back to that highlighter tool. Okay. Here's my second hypothesis. I'm going to add in some text. Okay. Oh, we also had entity view. I forgot to highlight this key term. So up here we had incremental, down there we have entity. So going properties, color, choosing my color, okay. Now that can get kind of tiresome if you find yourself switching back and forth between colors a whole lot. Another way you can do this is to find something that is the color you want, right click it, make current properties default, and then when I highlight, that's the color that's going to come up. If I want to switch it back to yellow, click something yellow, make current properties default. Okay, so that's how to highlight and add text in a PDF. Now, if you want to print out copies of the articles, that's totally fine. I actually still do that myself if I need to read something very carefully. But if you want to save paper or not have to carry a bunch of paper around with you, highlighting in Adobe is a reasonable alternative.